So last night we reported on the Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church in Greenville, Mississippi. And actually, now that I put that together, I actually know some people who probably are part of this church. My family's from everywhere, but Mississippi, we spent a lot of years, particularly near and around Greenville. But last night we reported on it. The church was burned down. And on the side of the church, they wrote "Vote Trump." In response, they started a GoFundMe account seeking $10,000 to repair the damages. And they have reached already $170,000 they have raised to rebuild the church and to restore everything that was burned. That's the power of this interconnectivity that is problematic in the example of, what Melania Trump says she wants to fix and fight against. It does become problematic, but at certain times you have moments like this where people band together, and when someone tried to destroy the people of the internet said no, and they helped restore $170,000. That's, they've gotten way more than they ever asked for. They should be able to do a lot. And hopefully they will do a lot, not only to rebuild, but to help the community. This comes in the backdrop, again, of what we discussed yesterday, of David Duke. Just to give a correction, on yesterday, we talked about David Duke being at Dillard. I did not expressly say that he was there to be a part of a debate. We kind of generally discussed him being there as a speaker. But in fact, he was there to participate in a debate for the office that he's running for in Louisiana. So you have David Duke, who was a Grand Imperial Dragon Wizard, whatever his titles are. It's an insane story. I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place, but I was talking to this dude who was talking about the KKK, and he was like, the KKK is bad, but, and I'm like, well, no, there are no buts. All right, what the hell can you possibly say after the KKK is bad, but? And he said, but they have some amazing names, man. They have like the Imperial Dragon and the Grand Wizard and all these guys. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine. I'll give you that. I guess they have some names from Dungeons and Dragons or something. But anyway, the Grand Dragon, Imperial Wizard, Gandalf. I'm sorry, so far from Gandalf. But anyway, David Duke running for office, a part of the KKK, unrepentant, shows up at Dillard last night, and of course, it did not go well. This is happening one state over from Mississippi, where this church was just burned, right? And there's a seriousness to, I'm taking it light here, but there's a seriousness to this conversation that I need to convey. Just on the other side of Mississippi, where this church was burned down, you have a member of the Klan who is running for elected office and has been accepted back into the mainstream enough such that he feels that he stands a chance to win this elected office. And on the flip side, you have the KKK Crusader paper who has endorsed Donald Trump. Donald Trump has, in fairness to Donald Trump has repudiated and rejected that endorsement. However, it doesn't change the fact that what he stands for and what he represents is so appealing to people like David Duke. And you have to ask yourself the question, like, really, what year is this? What year is this? Like, there was a period during the primaries where there was a church being burned down every week, a black church being burned down almost every single week. And you have all of these hate organizations that are coming out of the woodworks, just free to be public. I mean, they have always been here. There will always be here, but there was at least a respite where they were not proud to be loud and out in public with their hate messages. And now we've come into a point where now churches are being burned and these hate messages are ever present around us and not in the dredges of society. They're front and center. And it makes me ask the question, like, where do we actually go after this election? Like, has Pandora's box been open and there's no return? Or is there a way back to whatever we call normal? Whatever period, I don't care what period it was, whatever period where the Klan was not eligible for running for office. It was only a small period, right? Keep in mind, like 1912, Woodrow Wilson, right? He was elevated to the White House as a member of the KKK, and I think during that period they had like over 4 million people. So probably all of Congress was a part of the KKK or affiliated with the KKK. So we're not talking about a long period in American history. We're talking about maybe a 5 to 10, maybe a third, maybe one generation of one gap where the members of the neo-Nazi party and the Ku Klux Klan were not able to be front and center and say, I'm going to run for office as a proud member of the Klan. So it's not in any form or fashion to say that this did not exist or it ever went away or we were ever post-racial. We're never going to be post-racial. We're never going to get rid of this. It's never going to go away. But we should make progress enough to where we say somebody who's a member of an established hate group cannot be free enough to run for office and actually be popular enough to make it to a debate stage. That's the problem. And the underlying problem underneath that is that it 100% depends on what we as a collective body deem acceptable. Because there's no regulation, there's no law, and we don't want any law to actually rule that out, right? We don't want any law to say this group of people can't run for office, no, we don't want that. It's 100% dependent on what we deem acceptable as the body politic. And we have gotten to a point where what's acceptable in this 2016 election is for somebody like David Duke to run for office, and then just on the other side of the border, black churches are being burned down. We're going in the wrong damn direction. And we're going at an accelerated pace. And I'm just curious. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything to put us back on moving in the right direction, because it never went away. It was just in the dredges of society. I, for one, if it can't get rid of it, then they should just be too ashamed to come in public, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I'm not by nobody important. Correction. So Woodrow Wilson wasn't, you know what it was? It was the Birth of the Nation movie. That's what it was. So I'm sorry. He was a dick, right? He's still a white supremacist. Woodrow Wilson was not a member of the Klan, but he was number one with the Klan. we can definitely say that. And he did a screening of Birth of the Nation at the White House. So yeah, and not the Nate Parker Birth of a Nation. We're talking about the Klan origin story movie.